One of my questions really in terms of the debate days that we had is how much attention do the right speeches get? Because there's grandstanding and there's political jockeying and there's slurs that are thrown back and forth. And I'm interested if you think that's a sign of a healthy democracy.
It's part and parcel of parliamentary debate. I mean, I think the balance is what is important, and in recent times in Parliament, we've seen too much of the theatrics and not enough of the policy engagement in policy debate. I think we began to see a little bit more of that engagement on policy issues in the SONA debate. Both from members of the opposition as well as from members of the ANC, and particularly members of cabinet who spoke on behalf of the ANC, put forward the details of what they were doing in their respective government departments. And I think that was good, is to engage on the issues, and yes, there's time for politicking, and that's the nature of robust political debate. We must accept that, but where it goes over the edge and detracts from the main business of Parliament, then we've got to be very cautious.
In terms of the atmosphere following SONA and the SONA debate last year, from CASAC's point of view, what is the comparison or the contrast between then and now in terms of attitudes around constitution, around democracy, around the health of South African politics?
That was one of the things that one would have liked to have seen in the SONA itself, for President Zuma to reaffirm the supremacy of the constitution. He made reference to it very fleetingly. But I think in the context of where South Africa is at the moment, in the context of what's been happening in the country, we need that firm affirmation of the supremacy of the Constitution, the supremacy of the rule of law. And that didn't come through. And I think that's one disappointment that we have. But I think that the nature of the debate has meant that we've taken a small step forward. I think it's very different to President Zuma's response last year, where he was much more bullish and able to take on the opposition. And I think what was significant in the debate this year was that even members of the ANC who participated in the debate, many of them did not jump to President Zuma's defense in the way that he had been attacked quite viciously by members of the opposition. They focused rather on the messaging from the ANC and from government, rather than on defending the president. So I think the president may see himself as someone more vulnerable now and less protected by the ANC caucus in Parliament.
Interesting you say that. I spoke to the spokesperson for the EFF, and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi's critique of the ANC, very strong, very kind of outspoken as you'd expect, but really honed in on the kind of cult of the personality, which to me is interesting because I see a tension there between the cult of the personality perhaps towards Jacob Zuma within the ANC and then towards Julius Malema and the EFF. I'm interested, as an analyst, how you see the prominence of a party that has, well, in the 2014 elections, just over 6% of the vote. Is it an imbalance for a party that's comparatively small to have so much scope and so much clout when it does pitch up in Parliament?
Well, their messaging is strong. Yes, it is a party that only has 6% of the vote in terms of the 2014 election, but we'll see how well they do in the 2016 local government elections. But they're putting out a message that does resonate with South Africa. It resonates with people who may perhaps not even vote for them, but resonates with those people who see the issues that they're raising, if not the solutions, but the issues that are being raised by the EFF as being the issues that are pertinent for a discussion about development in South Africa and how to take the country forward.